and welcome to an informative speech about the Black Church. We're here to talk about the magical work of the Black Church. There has been no institution more trusted than the Black Church in African American communities. Many people marvel at the patience and dedication of Black people that we have for Black Church. Black Church is where we first learn. We start our babies off very young in Black Church. When parents are in service, we start them at about 1 year old, and they go up to classrooms and they're being taught while we're in service. So it's the first place that we learn how to be taught. A couple other main parts that I want to go over as we talk this evening is that Black Church is where we learn. Black Church is where we live out our dreams or learn to live them out. Black Church does what it wants to do. Black pastors have been misled or perhaps even misguided by the government in certain ways. So that would be the downside to Black Church. But the most important part is also Black Church have raised our children. So as a learning institution, Black Church starts with Sunday school. Sunday school starts around age 4. So although kids may start going into classrooms at about age 1, they're being babysitted and able to color and do arts and crafts and given snacks. But by 4 years old, they're in Sunday school and they're actually learning how to learn. And this is about the same time that they're going into public schools or right before they're going into public schools. And so that's where we learn to learn. We learn to be quiet. We learn to listen to our teachers and things of that nature. And we learn art in the Black Church in true iconic fashion, which takes us to finding our niche, okay? We learn our niche in Black churches way too often. A lot of the time, we're not able to afford formal lessons, singing lessons, piano lessons, learning how to play string instruments and jazz and brass instruments. So those things are being taught in the Black Church. Just to name a few people, Aretha Franklin started her career in the Black Church. Whitney Houston started her career in the Black Church, started learning how to sing. That's where she learned the arts. Some of the arts that are offered right now in our church, we have acting, we have Young Ushers Board, we have Young Hospitality Committee, and all these things we're learning to do in church before our kids even go out into the real world or college or whatever. So, learning is done first in the Black Church. The most funny thing about Black Church is Black Church does what it wants to do. So, Black Church can last for hours. All those things that we practice during the week and the things that we have for the kids at certain age groups, we want to kind of put it all into our Sunday service a lot of the time. So we have a little girl praise dance, middle school age praise dance. We have high school praise dance. We have the same in choirs and the same for drama. So things like that, we're all putting in the Black Church. It could last upward of, I've never seen Black Church last 45 minutes. What I should say is from an hour and a half to 3 hours, you may be in Black Church. The downside is I feel like we have, and I've seen that we have a lot of political figures that use the Black Church. And the government does come in and attempt to regulate our communities and our people by coming in and saying, hey, we can give you guys a grant in order for you to have programs and do the things that you want to do. And hey, why don't you push our agenda?